Dinner in Hell Band, ladies and gentlemen. Listen to them.
The whole band.
Oh, just rip roaring.
Wow. Man, we are back in the stateside.
Back home. It
In the
feels good to be
motherland.
back in the undisclosed location.
That's right. At Dinner in Hell HQ, North America.
Mm-hmm.
That's all we're going to say. about
Possibly international waters.
that. You want to know more info? Just simply write it on a $100 bill, your name and address, and send it to us, and we will reply.
Yeah, just slide it down your nearest storm drain, and one of our agents will be there to collect it.
PayPal. Dinner in Hell Band. Dinner in Hell Audience. What do you think of them?
Beautiful. The best people that there is.
You're always for the audience. You always stick up for the audience. You never have anything bad to say.
They never let me down. They're always there. Just cruising away. Looking incredible. Getting smarter. They're already, our listeners, there was a Pew Research poll amongst podcast listeners, and our listeners are both the most beautiful and intelligent people in the world, and getting more beautiful and more intelligent
each listen
by the episode.
Yes, that's right.
That is scientific fact.
But in all reality, the downside to that is all the energy that Brad and I put into this show. It takes some of our beauty and intelligence from us. So we give ours to you.
Yeah, we're trying to set up like a Dorian Gray type situation where we can all leech off of Ted Cruz, but it's not working yet.
Like, in the Clash of Titans movies, if you, the only way the gods have powers if you pray to them, like you give them your energy, like our powers diminish as each episode goes on. Our powers diminish, but our listeners gain power. So we're really doing good for the world.
Welcome back to another exciting edition of the Dinner in Hell podcast, the podcast where two amateur historians talk about history's atrocious underbelly. I am one of your co-hosts, Brad the Impaler, and with me, as always, the esteemed, most honorable Ron Maiden.
Hello, and thank you for having me once again. Was that intro too short? You tell us. I'm just kidding. We went on a little tear there. We're sorry.
Mr. Maiden?
Yes.
What are we talking about today?
Today, we are going to go and talk about some of that Hellenistic Greek cultures. Some of the gods.
We're talking Greek gods, folks.
We're talking about Zeus.
Zeus.
The legend of Zeus.
So, Zeus is the chief god in the pantheon of the ancient Greek cultures. So, sort of all of the areas that covered culturally, Zeus was at the head of the gang of the gods that they would worship. He made his home atop Mount Olympus. And, he's the leader of all the gods, right? So he must be, some kind of morally infallible, like, wise judge ruler.
Right, like the one you could count on most to make proper decisions, and you could, follow and, like, have him lead.
Totally. That's exactly what you'd expect.
Did you say morals already?
Morally perfect. Yeah. Well, you may have already guessed, since you're tuned into the Dinner in Hell podcast, that would not be the case.
Right. So any kind of hopes that you had about Zeus, being like, the almighty, all-knowing? No. He was
Zeus,
rotten.
Yeah, he's a real fucked up god.
You're going to hate Zeus by the end of this episode. Our job is to make you hate Zeus today.
Yeah, and I think we're not going to have a very difficult time succeeding in doing that.
He forces himself upon women, okay?
Yeah, he's...
I'm going to get right to it.
A lot of times his behavior could be described as Cosby-esque.
Cosby-esque? Allegedly. Allegedly.
You'll have to talk to his solicitor about that one.
Right, though? We have to say allegedly.
Yes, allegedly.
Or else we can get Cosby's lawsuit coming.
Yeah, well, I could just say that Zeus was known to favor a colorful sweater. That's what I meant if you're thinking about suing us.
The Shakecast podcast probably smirking right now.
Yeah, go listen to the Shakecast podcast. We'll have a link in the show notes to those guys. You ought to check them out. They're really entertaining. Well, before we talk about Zeus, what we really need to discuss is what was the universe to these people? What, metaphysically speaking, how was the universe constructed? Like, who was running the show? Where did everything come from? These types of the original sort of metaphysical questions. Well,
how did Earth become?
Exactly.
Like, what are we standing on here?
Exactly.
Okay.
So, for the Greeks, in the beginning, there was only a cold emptiness, an abyss, a vast nothingness, which I know, as far as I know, is the truth. They called this chaos. That's we get the word chaos from there.
We call it space.
That wasn't the only thing, though. Eros, the god of love, always existed outside of time. An entity called Tartarus, which was a sort of a primordial living abyss, like a deep pit, which was also alive somehow.
Like, did it have like tentacles like that outreached and grabbed things in where it would digest its prey over 7 years?
Sure, think Sarlacc, but dark and like way deeper, way bigger.
Okay. Find Boba Fett's helmet in the bottom of it.
Yeah. Also present was Erebus, which is another primordial entity. This one is representing darkness, which is, that's pretty fucking metal.
Primordial entity of darkness.
Yep. Erebus isn't actually all that important, but he does bang this great cosmic black bird named Nyx, which is, again, so fucking metal, man.
By bang, do you mean make love?
Sure.
Okay.
I mean, when you're literally darkness, you're the concept of darkness as
you're probably not
being.
making love.
Yeah, I don't think that's in your playbook. And you're dealing with like a cosmic black bird who's probably like some sort of Lovecraftian sort of like elder god who devours whole planets.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't think there was like rose petals laid out anywhere. Probably a lot of screaming and gnashing of beak.
Probably weapons swinging.
Yeah.
Feathers flying. Sonic feathers.
Yeah, probably something so horrible that like if you witnessed it for 1 second, you would just be immediately driven completely insane. Well, anyway, those are the things that are kicking around before time starts. And Gaia, which is Earth, just sort of spontaneously creates itself like out of the ether in the middle of this black void.
Like it's just like
bloop. Like it just pops in. Like it's just all of a sudden there, and they're like, yeah, there's no reason. Don't even go trying to figure one out because there's no reason. It just booped into existence. That's how things work here.
I'm imagining like a time-lapse video of like one little pebble all of a sudden growing and getting bigger, and all of a sudden it starts turning green, and then oceans and clouds, and then time-lapse Earth becomes.
And that's why this show is so much fun, because you have a beautiful mind.
You can imagine what you want. I'm not telling you what to imagine.
But, I mean, you should really take it from an expert.
So Earth emerges in the middle of blackness.
Yep. And when she appears, Mother Earth, Gaia, she is also pregnant. Yeah. So she gives birth to the sky.
Okay.
Which is called Uranus.
Okay, so we're a podcast that covers atrocious human history. What the hell is human about this? Is that the humans made this shit up?
Yeah, humans made this up.
Okay. Because we know that, and since humans made this up, that must mean
gods are not real. there is no Hades waiting to punish you with eternal torment.
Thor and Loki are not really brothers.
You need not fear Charon, the ferryman, who will cross over River Styx, because there is no River Styx.
The band Kiss wrote the song God of Thunder about a garbage truck.
That's good. So, yeah, Mother Earth, Gaia, giving birth to Uranus, and then you know what? They bang one another.
The sky
The sky bangs the earth.
and the earth make love, sweet, passionate love. I don't like to use the word bang. I'm a family man.
They fuck. They, what was it from like the dating show? They make whoopee.
Yeah. So they perform whoopee in a romantic manner.
All right, so the sky tenderly stroked the earth.
So the sky's been eyeballing the earth, is what you're saying. He's like, man, I like to look at that earth. Just take a look at that earth. I got dibs.
Yeah. So the sky then impregnates the earth, his mother.
Jesus.
And then the earth gives birth to 6 sets of twins.
That's so common.
Yeah. These are known as the Titans. And only a couple of them are very important to our story. Those would be the pair of twins of Kronos and Rhea.
We're covering Kronos and Rhea amongst the 6 set of twins on this episode.
Yep.
Or what we're doing is we're giving you where Zeus came from. So we're starting at who Zeus's dad is, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so that's what we're talking about, people.
Yep. So now Gaia was also impregnated with some other types of creatures, like giants and cyclops. Cyclops. I don't know which one.
Cyclopi. Cyclopi. Cyclopedia? Cyclopedia.
Cyclopedias.
Cyclomonopoeia is plural. Cyclomonopoeia is the plural form, I guess. I just looked up a thesaurus.
Well, so the sky was like, I don't like those cyclops and those giants. I don't like those. So why don't you just cram those back in your womb, and so I don't have to look at them.
Oh yeah, let me just grab all my kids and shove them back in my womb.
Yeah,
because you're not thrilled about them.
Well, she did, but she wasn't happy about it. She was still pretty salty about it. So she took Kronos, who, he's grown up now, and he's looking to make his mark. So her and Kronos and I guess the entire planet, except for the atmosphere, decide that they're going to get rid of the sky. And in doing so, Kronos cut off the sky's genitals and then drowned him in the ocean.
Okay.
Yeah, and then, he can't die because he's immortal. So then he gets chucked down into Tartarus.
Where's that?
That's that alive, the deep space black Sarlacc. Yeah.
Yeah. Boba Fett's helmet exists there.
Yeah.
Remains there. Yeah.
Absolutely.
You can see it there if you ever get swallowed by it.
It's like the Sarlacc pit that Sarlacc pits are afraid of.
Yeah. It eats Sarlacc pits for breakfast.
Yeah.
Pieces of Sarlacc pits like you for breakfast. Let me see here.
Now, so
wait a second.
What do you think the sky's genitals look like?
Uncut, for one, because this is back then. They didn't know how to do that yet. So it probably had an odd look to it. Probably had low-hanging scrotum, maybe. I mean,
who knows? Was it made out of clouds?
Yeah, maybe it's a phallic cloud form.
Yeah, you just really hope you don't see it forming above you.
How could you
ruin?
How could you sever that from the sky though? If it's a cloud,
exactly. I don't know. None of this is. This isn't adding up. I think this may not be completely factual.
Come on. This is written word. A Hellenistic culture.
Yeah.
So Cyclops walked around on Earth, the soil.
Well,
that's what the scripture's telling you.
After
that you read. You read the scripture.
After the sky genital removal, yeah, she let him out. The other thing is after the genitals were severed, the sky bled, and when that blood hit the ground, he gave birth, she, Gaia, gave birth to the Hecatoncheires, is how I'm going to try to say that. What that means is those are a particular set of giants that are called 100-handers. And they have 1,000 arms and 50 heads each. There's 3 of them.
On the bright side, they're only a foot tall. So they're cute.
No, they're big. They're real big.
They're cute. They're giants. Big. You said they were giants, right?
Yeah, they're giants.
That sounds awful.
They're big boys.
Why hasn't Hollywood tackled that one? They kind of got it with... They had like a 3-armed guy in Wrath of the Titans. Remember those guys on the beach or whatever? They had 3 arms. They'd spin in a circle.
Yeah.
But they didn't have like 100 hectocotcheries.
Hakakan-carries.
Right.
Yeah, they didn't have any of the 100-handers. Yeah.
Gesundheit.
Now, now, since Kronos has, betrayed his old man and more or less killed the sky in the, like, sort of temporary way that these gods die, he takes control. He's like, I'm running this shit now.
Yeah.
I'm like the head boss. I'm Kronos, head boss.
Yeah. Say, I do what I want when I want. Shit. Kronos up in this bitch.
And he turns around and is like, hey, like Gaia, I don't like these shitty 100-hand fucking wacko giants, so I'm going to imprison them in Tartarus. And she's like, God damn it. Like, I just had you kill your dad to stop this bullshit.
He's like, hey, Tartarus got to eat.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, he's fucking around, man.
These 100-handers.
Yeah, so, Kronos' twin sister, Rhea.
Perlman.
So, so now I'm going to imagine Kronos looks like DeVito.
So the Dinner in Hell media department may have to have put a picture of Rhea Perlman in the little teaser,
next to
Twitter
Kronos.
Pic. Yeah. So Kronos and his twin sister, Rhea.
Yeah, so they're twins. So, of course they get married.
Right.
Yeah, to one another. And then, wouldn't you know it, they...
fornicate.
Make sweet, sweet love to one another. Repeatedly.
They are legally married. So
legally
it's not
married.
Like they're
one of
sin.
Like the 12 beings that are in existence at this point in time.
It's not like this immortal incest is in sin. It's under legal marriage.
Yeah, they're the gods. They're the ones making the rules.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, anyway, they have 6 children. And they would come to be, down the line, the primary gods and goddesses that were worshipped by the Greeks.
So after this whole introduction, it comes down to Kronos and his twin sister having 6 children that become the gods that we're about to give to you.
Yeah, but wouldn't you know it, Kronos, he remembered what he did to gain his sort of glory and his position. He killed his old man. And he started to worry, like, hey, wait a minute. These kids might be stronger than me, and they might kill me.
Right, so what do I got to do? I got to freaking smother some of these kids, throw them in the river.
Yeah, but again, everybody under question here is immortal. Cannot die.
Even babies?
Even babies.
Baby gods?
Yeah, baby gods are like, once they're there, they're good.
Okay.
So, but what Kronos would do is every time a baby was born, he would swallow them alive.
Yeah, he's just waiting with his mouth.
Oh, gulp.
He's waiting with his mouth agape.
Yeah. Now, this was except for Zeus. Rhea was salty at Kronos about all his bullshit that he was doing to her, because this is a long time ago, so they weren't treating women well. Not even goddesses. So she wanted to protect Zeus. So she handed Kronos a rock wrapped in a blanket, and he just gulped that down instead of actual Zeus. Yeah.
It just tastes like clay. It's a brick.
He was expecting his baby and got fucking brick instead. I mean, who hasn't been there? And how disappointing does it get?
After you've eaten so many babies, I mean...
Ugh, eventually, I mean, you can tell it anywhere, and you can tell when somebody's trying to pass it off as a rock. You know the difference.
Kronos. So, of the 6 children that she gave birth to, Zeus survives the Kronos swallowing.
Yeah. He squeaks out of that with his mother's quick thinking, and he is born secretly in Crete, and he's hidden in a cave on Mount Ida. And now this is where Zeus's rearing is done is a matter of contention. We have several different accounts. We're not sure what the true one is. I think you could hear my air quotes there.
Yeah, he's doing quotes with his fingers. If just to paint a picture for you.
So he was either raised by a goat named Amalthea, or a nymph named Adamanthea, who fed him the goat's milk, or a series of nymphs, with one that fed him goat's milk and another that got bees to deliver honey directly into his mouth.
Yeah, bees don't just carry honey.
They do if you're a forest nymph.
But the bees carry the pollen.
But they could get the honey and bring it to you.
What else could she...
Theoretically.
What else could these nymphs have done? I heard that fish would bring him water to drink.
Just flop all the way over
there. With mouths full of water.
Plop, then zap back. Drop dead right there so you can eat them later.
Friggin'.
Squirrels are like crushing up nuts and bringing it to him.
There's one legend has it. A beaver would bring him firewood for his fire, keep him warm.
Wild hogs would just march directly onto said fire and roll over until they became bacon for him.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so I mean, either hanging out with forest nymphs or
I had more legends.
Oh, did you?
I was trying to think of more legends. Forget it. If you have a legend that friggin' these nymphs did to help raise Zeus, tweet them at us. So what were the other legends of how he was raised? That was it. The ones that directly delivering honey in his mouth.
Yeah, those were. It was one of those 3. But that's pretty much all we get about Zeus's, like god childhood. Which I mean, so far all the god childhood we've been talking about has occurred either in a secret cave in Crete or inside a Titan's stomach. Because you remember, they're not going to die. They're all immortal. So they're all just like, hey, like what? This is a weird world that we're in, where we're just like floating around in this weird, stomach place, growing up, getting older.
Oh, they're just living on in Kronos' belly?
Yeah, they're just like hanging out in there.
Well, what if Kronos digests them?
He can't. They're immortal. They can't be killed.
What if he passes them whole out of his other end? What if he out of his asshole is what I'm talking about?
That would be pretty funny, and I wish the Greeks wrote about that, but they didn't.
You see Kronos like friggin' giant god naked ass squatting, and then out slowly comes
just like a struggling
baby
adult person.
No, it's a baby god.
Like a
baby god shit out of Kronos' giant bear god asshole.
Yeah, and then he's like, "Well, I don't know if I want to. Like, I really don't want him roaming around the world, but I don't want to put it back in my mouth again." So what does he do then? Just cram it right back up his asshole?
That's too much, dude.
Yeah, that's probably too much. But that was kind of just for you. I just wanted that reaction. All right, so the kids don't stay inside Kronos forever, though. When Zeus grows up, he immediately wants like retribution for what his old man has done to his brothers and sisters. So he goes to Tartarus and, climbs down into the, god Sarlacc and kills like a guard. They had a guard that was living down there.
Yeah.
Like, he's like, I'm not in prison down here. I just work here.
Yeah, I can go whenever I want. They just don't let me right now.
I mean, hey, I'm punch a clock just like anybody else. 5 p.m. hits, I'm on my way to the bar.
I put my pants on one leg at a time, just like everybody else, brother.
Yeah, he's just got his lunch pail getting into like an elevator that takes him up to the top.
Yep.
Well, so anyways, Zeus goes down, kills the guard. He's like, hey, man, I'm just trying to do my job. Throws him deeper into the pit or some shit.
Dude's got Boba Fett's helmet on eBay.
Yeah. Yeah, so he does that, and he frees all the giants, including the 100-handers. And he uses those to start battling the seat of the Titans, and they engage in combat. The next move Zeus makes is to lure Kronos far from his home, and he tricks him into drinking a sort of like weird mixture of mustard and vinegar or something. Some sources claim poison, but then Kronos pukes up Zeus's brothers and sisters, who, like we said, had been, growing up inside of his stomach.
Okay, so over time.
Yeah, so...
They were never crapped out whole.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Kronos pukes out 5 fully formed adult gods and goddesses who then immediately just start fighting him.
Beards and shit.
Yeah.
Friggin' like they have like weapons. Like Poseidon has a freaking the fork.
Yeah, they're like adults, like ready to go. Like they pukes them up and he just starts fighting them.
Son of a bitch! You're our father, god damn it! It's like an ultimate revenge movie setting up. Tarantino directs The Story of Zeus by Quentin Tarantino. Samuel Jackson is Kronos. God damn it! No, I can do it better than that. Yes, I I swallowed your brothers and sisters, and I'm glad I did.
Now, Samuel, we've been working together for a long time, and just do the fucking line like I said it. Would you just read the fucking line like I said it? Just read the fucking line, Samuel, please.
There's no goddamn way I was ever going to allow my children to grow up and kill me like I killed my own dad.
That's better. Was that so fucking hard?
That's the best Samuel I can do. I don't know. I'm just trying to do something yelling.
I don't know. That's my best Tarantino.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was any good or not, but I figured I'd take a crack at it.
Yeah, you're good. Especially when he put on the glasses, he looked like him.
She held my hairline back a little bit.
Yeah. Does he have glasses? I
don't think so.
When you put on the fucking when you held up the megaphone there,
yeah,
and you sat in that director's chair over there, that folding one, you looked just like him.
Yeah, and what a coincidence, and how serendipitous that there was a Kangol hat sitting right next to you on the desk that you could put on to become Samuel L. Jackson.
Especially next to that framed poster of Uma Thurman. That's cool too.
Yeah,
just kind of tied it in.
Yeah,
just like him.
It works out great. All right, so all the giants are free. His siblings are all puked up, ready for battle, and they defeat the Titans in war. And they just take basically all their parents and, their, cousins, some of them, and just chuck them back down in Tartarus. Like, bye, have fun in the abyss for, the rest of the time because you're immortal.
Yeah. Guess what? The Tartarus never craps. So you're there forever.
Yeah, sorry.
No hopes of going out of its rectum into the world again. It's not happening.
Yeah, and some Titans were still out kicking around afterwards, like they made their own deals or they didn't really get involved, so they were spared. Some also had, weird specific punishments put on them. Like Zeus, who is famous for giving people shitty punishments, which you'll see later, he commands that Atlas, who is a Titan, hold up the sky for the rest of time, with a burden you're never gonna set down.
Isn't that the picture of the guy that's holding up like the world?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's Atlas. Really, it was just the sky, but they always show him holding up the whole planet.
Yeah. It's fake news.
Yeah, because I guess the sky is like dead now. So somebody's got to hold it up. He can't hold himself up.
You can see like where his genitals was.
Dickless piece of shit.
The sky. Yeah, he's got to hold it up, and his head is right by where like the base of the genitals was.
Yeah,
that was removed from the sky.
It's like itching the back of his neck to like tickling it constantly. He's like, come on, God.
He's like, can I hold up the sky like over there?
Yeah,
got me right by his former crotch.
Yeah, no, sorry, that's part of it. It's part of your punishment.
No, Atlas, look at it.
Yeah, so the realms of the world are sort of split up afterwards, and Zeus and his brothers share Earth. They share Gaia because, Gaia can't be claimed. That's all of their moms. Their grandma. That's their grandma.
Yeah. Gaia is Earth.
So Poseidon, he gets the ocean. Zeus, he reigns in dominion over the sky. And Hades takes the underworld. Now, see, Gaia, boy, she gets shafted one time after another, and she's constantly got a gripes. And this time, she's just angry about her grandkids overthrowing her kids. So she tries to have Zeus killed, like she did with solving all of her problems, contract killings.
Mm-hmm.
But Zeus, he's too strong. And all the monsters she sends to kill him, he just, picks them apart and sends them packing. Kicking ass and taking names. So now Zeus, he's a god now, full-fledged. He's kicking around on his own.
God of the sky.
Yeah. And he got married. He had a wife. Her name was Metis. She was a Titan. And but shortly after their wedding, he started getting nervous. He had a worry.
Why?
Well, sort of, I guess, the family history of patricide. Like if you killed your dad, who killed your grandpa, wouldn't you start worrying about the next generation pretty quickly?
Yeah, if he had a son, yeah.
Yeah, so Zeus, he decides, well, I'm just not going to let this happen. But he also saw that what Kronos didn't work. So he's like, initial reaction is, all right, I'll just eat all the babies. And then he was like, no, shit, that didn't work. I got to switch it up. I got to disrupt. I got to, find a new paradigm. Think outside the box. So he just eats his wife instead.
Zeus eats his wife?
Yeah, he's like, hey, Metis, come over here. And then he just swallows her.
Frickin' Zeus.
Yeah.
Well, just when you thought Zeus was like someone you could like believe in.
He eats his wife.
That's pregnant.
That's crazy. It's fucked up.
Fucking Zeus is an asshole.
Yeah, so the thing is he doesn't know that Metis is pregnant. And they have already... Yeah,
he ate her anyways?
Yeah, he just ate her because he's like, it might happen. So he didn't know that she was pregnant, but she was. They had already conceived Athena, the goddess Athena. So with nowhere to go, once, her mom got eaten up, swallowed alive by Zeus, Athena grew up inside of Zeus, much like his siblings grew up inside of Kronos, except when she was done growing, she just went budded, and just globbed off of Zeus's forehead, fell off onto the ground, fully dressed for battle as an adult goddess. So she's crazy. In armor with a spear and shit, ready to go.
That's funny.
Yeah. So he had the prophecy and was like, well, I can't let this shit happen. So he ate his wife, who was a Titan, so who was
related to
at
him.
The most distant relation, possibly his second cousin.
Okay.
Yeah. Could have been as close as a first cousin or an aunt. Yeah.
Zeus marries again.
He does, and again, following this through line of family tradition through this story, guess who Zeus marries? His sister, Hera.
Okay. Then he eats her.
Nope, he didn't. He
Oh.
didn't eat Hera. He did, however, basically, he's like the Tiger Woods of gods in his like cheating, except if you added in like non-consensual stuff too. So like Hera getting the short end of the stick, but she's also pretty terrible. So you might hear a little bit about what she gets up to too.
Like in a later episode or today? You're going to talk about Hera some other time? You're saying she should have her own thing?
Yeah,
okay,
yeah. So Zeus married Hera, but he definitely wasn't faithful.
Right.
And his incest wasn't confined to the marriage either, because he at one point or another was banging all of his sisters. Also, way worse even than the incest is that Zeus was also a serial rapist.
Like, if you're a god, though, who else are you going to have sex with? Humans? Because
absolutely. Humans.
I was going to say, like, if you're a god, you can only do it with gods. If the only female god is your freaking sister, then you're, like, stuck.
Nah, he was banging humans all the time, generally without their consent.
Okay.
You've heard of Helen of Troy, right? Constant listener?
Yeah.
Her face launching 1,000 ships in the war between, Greece and Troy. She was born because Zeus saw her mother, Leda, the wife of King Tyndareus, and he took one look at her and decided, like,
I gotta have that.
Gotta have that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he transformed himself into a swan. White birds,
right,
weird, long,
super
gangly
friendly.
necks.
Super friendly if you want to row your kayak up to one.
Yeah, definitely isn't going to, like, fly towards you, screeching and attacking you. But he flew down and raped Leda. And it's even said that later on, Leda, the wife of King Tyndareus, laid a golden egg that hatched and produced Helen of Troy.
God, a push. Freaking, is it a boy? What is it? Tell me. He's like, nah, it's freaking, looks like it's just a golden egg.
Yeah.
Gunk, gunk.
Yeah, let's get you out of this bed and get you into a pile of straw so you can sit on this thing.
Shit, let's weigh this bad boy. Was that solid gold we talking?
Yeah, man, it'd probably be worth a lot. But that had Helen of Troy inside of it.
Yeah,
though.
crack open a little baby chick. Freaking Helen of Troy as a baby chick, like blind. Like no feathers. Like freaking no feathers and shit.
That's funny. Oh, God.
She hatched from a golden egg.
Yeah, she popped out of an egg.
So,
Now, definitely not the only case of Zeus having his way with a mortal woman. There is also the case of Europa. Now, Zeus, same scenario. Sees Europa helping her father, take care of their herd of bulls, of cows. Zeus is like, I know how I can, put my moves on.
Europa.
On Europa. He turns himself into like a pristine-looking, big, huge white bull. And,
puts on cologne.
Yeah. Gets himself, like some Dracar Noir.
Dracar
like
Noir,
a
yeah.
smell-alike at Walgreens on the way over.
Yeah, aren't they called something?
Designer
Faux or something?
It's like designer impressions or something like
Yeah.
that. I was used to sell them at Meijer.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he appears as this, white, pristine bull, and he sort of sidles on up to her and starts being like a charming animal. And as soon as she starts like petting him, he like coaxes her like, "Hey, get on.
Get on my back. Get on my big white bull bear back."
Yeah, just hop on here." But then as soon as she gets on, he just breaks into a dead sprint. So she can't get off because, like, you don't know, she might get trampled or whatever. He's a god. He's probably hauling ass. Probably going like 300 miles an hour or something.
She's looking like Terry Don West over here on the freaking PBR championships. Freaking Chris Shivers getting 8 seconds over here.
Yeah,
if you guys don't know what I'm talking about.
She's riding it all the way to the buzzer. She ain't letting go.
Just so you know, I can name more professional bull riders than Major League Baseball players, non-Tiger related. That's weird.
It's impressive.
I can name like 4 professional bull riders and bulls. I won't do it now.
That'll be on our supplementary podcast.
PBR championships.
Yeah, so he sprints towards the sea, and then when he gets there, like, you know, like Dad's probably chasing, like, what the hell's going on? Like, where's this bull come from? And what in the fuck? Yeah, so he runs to the sea, and when he gets there, he starts swimming, and she's still just sort of like hanging on, I guess. Once we hit the water, I might have thought it was safe enough to jump off.
Yeah.
But maybe she wanted to get away. I don't know. This one was less clear.
This bull is charming as hell, and he smells good.
I don't know what's going on.
Hold on to his tail at this point.
He tricked her, but I don't know. Maybe they talked on the way, and like, she was cool with it. It's still probably problematic, but
they're best friends at this point. They're companions.
Anyway, he swims to Crete, or he takes her there, and yeah, they get down. It might have been rape. It might have been not. It wasn't super concrete, but he did make her the queen of Crete. You know, gave her a bunch of cool shit. They had some kids and stuff. He even later made the constellation of Taurus in the sky to commemorate this occasion. So if you're ever looking up at the night sky and you see that bull up there, that's because of rape.
Or if your grandpa or grandma drive around in a Ford Taurus, you know that car got its name from rape.
Yeah.
Thanks, rape.
Although, as just a brief aside, I'm not uncomfortable with the content, but I think this one's definitely going to need a trigger warning. Or like a content warning, they're calling them these days. Because if, like, someone's been raped, I don't want them to listen to this.
Well, let's make that clear before the episode's over.
Yeah, like we could put it at the top somewhere.
I was to say, like, when we wrap it up.
Yeah. Yeah, so that wasn't the only time Zeus forced a mortal woman either.
You want to say forced from here on out, so it's not so harsh with the R word?
Yes, it's yeah, but sometimes I think maybe it should be harsh because like it should always be shocking. Like it should always be obviously terrible.
If you got to say it, say it. If it's to paint the portrait of what you're projecting here.
Yeah, well, so he fell enamored with Callisto, who was a virginal follower of Artemis. And so this one, Zeus, to trick her, he turned himself into Artemis and was like, hey, come into the woods and look at this.
Check this out. It's me. It's Artemis.
Yeah, I'm Artemis.
I found something. It's a baby bird.
You know me. It's Artemis.
Found a baby bird in a nest.
Yeah, I can't find... Have you seen my puppy?
Get in my van.
I got a bunch of candy in here.
Yeah.
Yeah, sort of like that. Sort of like baited her out of the temple, where I assume Artemis may have been able to like protect her or something, because he was trying to lure her away. Which, you know, of course he did. And he raped her out there and wound up impregnating her. And, you know, she fled back to the temple. And again, an example of how it's always terrible to be a woman in the past. Artemis is like, well, now that you're not a fucking virgin anymore, like, you've shamed me for being in my temple, so I hate you. And he turned her into a bear. So being a bear doesn't make Callisto any less pregnant with a human being child.
Okay.
The half god, half human.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she gives birth as a bear in the middle of the woods.
To a human?
To a human whom Zeus takes from her immediately and, has him raised in a city somewhere, never telling him who his mother is.
Yeah. So is this Perseus?
Yeah.
Clash of the Titans? This isn't Perseus.
It's not Perseus.
No.
It's like a Cain or something like that. But
right.
he grows up and goes hunting and kills his own bear mom. Shoots his own bear mom, never knowing who it was.
The bear's like, whoa, but in the bear's mind, it's like, son,
Yeah.
it's mean. It's like, whoa.
Yeah.
Kill that fucking bear. Right? I want to kill that fucking bear. Inside the bear's like, son, no.
Yeah,
I love you. Chop
It's
its
like
head off.
slow motion of like the twang of the bowstring releasing. Yeah.
And now they show the dude, he just like lays naked on his mom rug.
Yeah.
His mom skin rug.
Oh,
He's like,
God.
his mom skin rug, dude. Oh,
That image is gonna haunt me.
this bear skin rug just reminds me of my mom. It's crazy. Let me ask you this.
Mm-hmm.
So all these women that he got pregnant,
Yeah.
okay, they all had kids and shit, right? They're all alive though, right? Like most of them live and shit. Remember he freaking ate and made us?
Yeah,
She wasn't
he
even-
did.
Yeah, like he was like, God, gotta eat the freaking pregnant woman or whatever. He didn't know she was pregnant, right?
Yeah.
But still, like, I gotta eat her. And all these. Meanwhile, after the fact, all these other women are living on with his spawn. Freaking asshole.
I
Another
think-
asshole Zeus
Yeah.
move.
Oh yeah, Zeus is an asshole. Another problem I think is that culturally, and this is definitely a critique, the boundaries for these people between sexual assault and seduction are way, way too blurry.
Like a pickup line for Zeus is like grabbing the woman by the back of the hair and yanking their head back.
Yeah, that kind of seems like kind
It's-
of what the attitude is like.
That's how you know Zeus is into you. He's like,
Yeah.
oh shit, what is happening?
I think the way that you know Zeus is into you is that he is currently fucking you, like already.
God damn it. Not safe for work. If you have this on at the workplace, at the office, please turn the volume down.
Yeah, and if Zeus is currently fucking you, it's too late, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Hopefully it turns into a sweet animal.
Yep. Now there is also the case of Alcmene. She was married, and Zeus, this time he actually approached her first in person as Zeus. Was like,
Milady.
"Hey, what's up?
I heard he was like, milady.
Want to see some light?" Like he probably like appeared and like Pip like took his sunglasses off while like lightning struck right behind him, shit like that.
Yeah, he just makes shit happen around him. Like, oh, it's so weird. 4-leaf clovers everywhere. It's
Yeah,
weird.
trying to be
Nuts.
super slick. That's
Oh.
like the show offy Zeus.
It's crazy. What is that? A unicorn? Oh, it's chasing 3 unicorns. Oh, it's crazy. Let's make shit happen.
Yeah, so he's trying to pick her up, and what's maybe even crazier is that she's like, no, she's like tells him to keep stepping. Like she doesn't want any part of it. She's not impressed that he's a god.
That's why the dude's always forcing it on the women, because his approach is all wrong, you know? And finally one stands up to him.
Yeah, he's just like a loser who can't get people to like him, so he has
Zeus.
to use his power.
Zeus, the loser. Only on PBS.
Yeah, because he's using the same old like shitty pickup lines where he's like, "It's a nice toga. I'd look good balled up on Mount Olympus in the morning."
That toga's very becoming on you.
Yeah, but anyways, she had the balls to tell like the chief god to, keep walking. So yeah, he can't have that. So what he did was disguise himself as her husband, who was away fighting a war, and stage a passionate reunion.
My love, it's me. I've returned.
Yeah, but it's not. It's just God. Yeah, in case you're wondering, tricking people into having sex with you is also rape. That's you still can't do that. That's still bad.
Is it
real
called
bad.
coercion or something?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, if you look up like the predators, sexual predators, coercion is like talking them into it or something. Come on, how do you know you won't like it? Oh.
Now, the thing about this one too is Alcmena's husband, when he came home, and wasn't already home, everybody sort of figured out what was going on when he came back, and again,
They kill him.
it's fucked up. No.
Imposter. He's like, no, it's me.
It's me, Alcmena's husband.
Hey.
I couldn't find his name, but so he comes back, and this is another example of how fucked up it is to be a woman. He's like, out of respect for Zeus, I'll never have sex with you again.
With her old husband?
Her husband says, like, out of respect for your rapist, I'm never going to touch you anymore.
Out of respect for the rapist. What's his... We don't know his name?
No.
Shame him.
Yeah, he
doesn't deserve his name
doesn't
spoken on our program.
it.
That's why. Brad purposely didn't include his name. We will never speak his name.
And you should never have any respect for gods.
If you want to know his name, tweet us at Dinner and Help On.
Yeah, I'll dig around. It probably exists. Well, that's and Hera, she never seemed to be angry at Zeus about this, or she never took retribution against Zeus, but she did take retribution against the women.
Wow.
Well, for example, Alcmene, who was impregnated by Zeus when he, tricked her, Hera sent got spirits to intervene to stop the birth of the child, which didn't ultimately work because Zeus, protected it. But she forced Alcmene to be in labor for 7 straight days, giving birth to the child. Yeah,
it's long labor. The child was born 8 feet tall, though, to be fair.
Probably.
Yeah, it took a long time to slide out.
No, that's not the only shit that Zeus got up to. There is a whole laundry list of other stuff.
All right, so we're going to wrap up this Zeus episode with the real dick moves.
Yeah, just like a sort of hodgepodge of Zeus's, top few total dick moves.
The cream.
Yeah. So first of all, he got sick of all the barbaric human sacrifices that people were doing. He didn't like them. So instead of, just saying like, it's clear at this point, right, that Zeus can physically interact with normal people whenever he wants to.
He's been doing it with women. Yeah,
so it'd be really easy for Zeus to be like, hey guys, just so you know, it's me, your god. Don't sacrifice other people, sacrifice animals. That's what I want you to do.
Yeah.
That all it would take is one conversation, and they would be doing exactly what he wants. But is that how Zeus handles that?
Yeah, sure, because he's a good guy.
No, we've established that Zeus is a piece of shit. Pieces of shit make pieces of shit moves. So he decides to flood the entire planet and kill every single person.
Luckily, there's a woodworker. Over in the Middle East, making a big old boat.
Yeah.
Everybody grab 2 animals, throw them on the boat.
And the sheep god saved him. He's nonstop using lightning and shit to strike people and set stuff on fire to let everyone know he's displeased. And but more about the sacrifices. Zeus was really salty about the animal sacrifices when they finally got it right, because the people were keeping the meat for themselves and only sacrificing like the fat and the bones. I mean, you don't want a meal as just fat and bones. You want the meat,
right? Yeah.
Gods aren't no different. Gods are just like you and me. And
seriously,
he wants that goddamn meat.
Yeah.
So what he decided to do to punish them for that was to withhold fire from them. He's like, all right, so you want to keep the meat for yourself? That's fine, but you aren't going to be able to cook it because I have all the fire. What a dick. What a dick Zeus was.
God, it's like we just talked about that one island where they only allowed flour with no water or oven to bake bread with. This gave them flour. On the we did the island episode.
Yeah, Nazino.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty similar.
You can't have fire, so everyone's eating freaking raw meat.
Rocks to eat. Yeah.
Rocks. Tree bark.
Yeah, so no fire for people. And except there was this Prometheus guy. He was one of those titans who, managed to stick around after the battles. And he was, in fact, responsible for creating human beings.
Like
Prometheus did it.
Like the movie Prometheus. I just watched Alien for the first time all the way through yesterday.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I like the Alien is... I love that movie. The sequels, I'm not that fond of.
But I watched Prometheus already.
Mm-hmm.
So I've seen Prometheus, now I've seen Alien. So I've seen, like, the ship that's in it. I didn't realize that, yeah. Prometheus is responsible for creating human man.
Yeah, and he didn't like to see him suffering. So he took a little bit of fire and he put it like in the middle of a fennel stalk so it could be burned. It would like be burning, but it would be hidden from Zeus's view. So he did that and he brought the people the fire. So he's like, "Hey guys, on the down low, here's some fire that like you can cook the meat with and get some light and shit for yourselves. Like, later, I'm out." So he comes running back up to Mount Olympus, and Zeus, he didn't like being undermined like that. When he had some sort of shitty, petty punishment in mind, he expected it to be carried out, goddammit. And so what Zeus did to Prometheus is he chained him up to a giant rock, and he had an eagle peck out his liver every day.
Every day meaning?
Every day, over and over again, for all of eternity.
His liver would constantly grow back.
Yep, yeah. Every single night.
Groundhog Day.
Yep, he's immortal. Groundhog Day where you're chained up and getting eaten by a bird.
Yeah. See you tomorrow, maybe.
There's this other dude named Sisyphus, who was the king of a neighboring era, and Zeus didn't like the way that dude operated. To be fair, Sisyphus was kind of a dick, too. He would kill emissaries, which is a big no-no in the ancient world. And Zeus decided that an apt punishment for Sisyphus would be that he would push a boulder uphill all day, every day, only for, at the end of the day, every night, for it to roll back down and crush him.
Every night. That's his Groundhog Day?
Yeah, that's his Groundhog Day for the rest of time.
That's freaking funny.
Yeah. And the other chief punishment that Zeus doles out is to Ixion. Ixion was a mortal son of Zeus. Zeus's own son. And he was often welcomed on Mount Olympus because of that. Because, you're related to Zeus, even though you're immortal. All right, come on, Ixion. Like, come on in, I guess. They let him in, right? But he had the nerve to just be attracted to Hera, his grandma.
Right. It's looked at. I just gave Brad a look. Like, huh?
Yeah, his
Hera was
dad's
Zeus's ex-wife or mother?
Mother, I think.
Zeus's mother's Hera.
No, Hera was Zeus's sister and wife.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So aunt, stepmom, no, aunt, mom.
Or no, it would be
aunt, mom.
No, but it wasn't his mom. He was a mortal son, so it was with a human.
Oh, okay.
Mother.
Aunt, stepmom.
Yeah, so
aunt, stepmom.
Yeah, I guess.
Something like that. Twice removed.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Oh my God, that's a bizarre family tree if I ever saw one. Yeah, so wasn't there another episode where he talked you could get thrown on some sort of torture device if you even thought about fucking the queen of
Yeah.
England?
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is sort of a similar situation to that. So Zeus doesn't like anybody hitting on his, sister wife deal situation. So Ixion's going to need punishment. So Zeus takes his own son and blasts him with a lightning bolt and binds him for eternity to a burning, spinning wheel.
So the burning feeling you feel is what you will feel for eternity?
Yeah, as
While
you're
spinning?
also like being disoriented from being spun around on a wheel. How fucking terrible is that shit?
Freaking Zeus. Son of a bitch. Do you hate Zeus? Let us know.
We promised you would, and you should.
Let us know in the comments below on the YouTube page. We're on YouTube, guys, if you haven't noticed.
Yeah, we've heard all kinds of interesting legends about Zeus today.
Yeah. None of them good.
Yeah,
What's
but
the-
I mean, like, did you know that every time he had an itch, an elk would stroll out of the desert and scratch it for him with his giant mantle?
I didn't know that. Give me
Yeah.
some more. Any more? Perseus was the son of Zeus. He went into the guy's room in the movie Clash of the Titans, disguised himself as the guy, had sex with the woman, then revealed that it was Zeus and not the guy, and then flew off as an eagle. Remember this?
Yeah.
And then the woman gives birth to Perseus. So that's how Perseus is Zeus's son. And then the king got cursed to look like that monster guy, right? With like, you know what I'm talking about? With like the whip and shit, like the bad guy, right? I mean, God, like he was handsome or something. And then like they cursed the guy to like look, you know, evil. Forgot what it was. Hades, maybe? I don't know. You gotta watch it. Clash of
Yeah, I
Titans,
gotta
people.
see that again.
Yeah.
But do you have any of your own legends about Zeus's upbringing that may have been applied?
What's the nicest thing you can say about Zeus? Send those in.
Solid beard. Yeah. But if you have a legend about Zeus, or if you loved or hated this episode on Mythology or wanted more, feel free to tweet at us and let us know. We're available at Dinner in Hell Pod. You can email us at dinnerinhellpodcast@gmail.com. We are at dinnerinhell.com. We are on SoundCloud, Facebook, YouTube. Please don't forget to rate and subscribe on Stitcher and iTunes. Makes a world of difference for us.
MySpace.
Friendster,
My Public Journal.
Live Journal,
Live Journal.
Dead Journal.
Dead Journal. Goth Journal we're on. We're on History Journal.
We have 6 DeviantArt accounts where we draw, you know, pictures of household objects having sex with each other.
We're into it. We're everywhere.
You name it.
Pinterest.
Thanks for listening. And get at us. We love you.
Thanks to the band. Thanks to the audience. Thanks, Brad.
Good night.
Fucking wheels.
98.7 WLLZ.
What's Thin Lizzy's song? The boys are back in town.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
my god. I was like, seriously? Everyone here is all pumped to hear this bullshit. And then Ricky said, Jocelyn last night.
She slapped out his
so
face.
light.
Man,
Man,
we just fell
she's-
about the place. If that chick don't want to know, forget her.
The boys are back in town. The boys. Oh, what she's got. They're all just hired gun guys that are not like the real Thin Lizzy guys. Like,
Yeah,
you
it's
like
like-
this one?
It's like the longest serving member is like a guy who came in to like do session bass on their 3rd record, and he's touring as Thin Lizzy now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
On 2 songs.
that's like whatever the fucking Misfits are these days.
I dropped something.